Hello everyone, welcome back to Donald Farm. I'm Billy the bald-headed beekeeper. Today we're going to talk about hive placement. So one of the first things you want to do as a new beekeeper is figure out where you want to put your hive. Yes, there are bad locations to put a beehive. You want to put your hive where it's good for the bees, not for the beekeeper. When I first started out, I picked a spot not knowing what I was doing, and it was terrible. I bought a package of bees, had my hive set up, went to dump the bees in the box, and immediately started seeing hive beetles. At the time, I did not know what a hive beetle was. I do now, and so the spot I had picked out was good for me. A lot of shade, to work the bees, but it was kind of in a low area, a lot of moisture. It was perfect for hive beetles. Bees, at first, the first package I bought, they absconded. The bees wasn't in there for a week. Went to check on them and they were gone. So bought another package of bees, put them in there, and they actually stayed. But I fought hive beetles for the next 3 years. And actually thought I had lost the colony. But went down there one spring to do an inspection, look at it, see about getting new bees, and the colony was still there, still alive. So I decided to move it. Now I'm gonna show you where I had it to start with, and then I'm gonna show you where I moved it to, and tell you why each area was good or bad. So stick around. Okay, so this is where I put my hive to start with. When I first started beekeeping, right down there. Like I say, had a lot of pine trees around, a lot of shade, but there again, it's kind of in the bottom. Uh, Stayed wet all the time, or at least some moisture in the ground. And like I say, that was perfect for hive beetles. So again, I thought I had lost the colony, but ended up making it. I did end up losing that colony, but wasn't for hive beetles. For those of you that don't know, do your research on hive beetles. Hive beetles get in your colony and they start reproducing. The bees can't kill hive beetles. Their shells are too strong. They can't sting them. They harass them, try to run them up in corners and all that. But if the hive beetles are so bad that they start laying eggs and the eggs hatch into the larva cross through your honey and it ends up defecating in the honey and it will ferment. So uh, terrible situation. Honey will, they call it sliming. Your whole hive will get slimed. It's just a nasty situation. I had a, the pigs are coming around. So I had a swarm trap that I had up, and had kind of forgot about it, but actually had caught a swarm. And it got in the middle of the summer. The bees were hanging out on the outside of the hive, and the beetles just took it over, and they ended up sliming it, and it was just a mess. Just cleaning all of it up was just, man, it was bad. So anyway, so this is not a good place. It may be shady, it may be good for the beekeeper, but it's not good for the hive. Not good for the bees. The bees can take the heat. Okay, so now we are headed down to where I actually moved my hive to, and tell you why I moved it. I don't know if you can see old Bo here, big old fellers. But got Bo and Brownie. And no, I'm sorry, that's Molly. And that's Brownie over there. But these guys will keep any coyotes, other dogs, any kind of predators away from my goats. And hopefully you can see them back there. That's why it's called Donald Farm. But anyway, getting back to bees. So again, I showed you where I had placed the hive to begin with, and told you why. it was not an ideal location. Like I say, I thought I had lost that colony to hive beetles. You can open up a hive that's got a infestation of hive beetles, and man, you can smell it. The fermented honey. And like I say, once it gets real bad, the sliming of it, it's just terrible to to clean up. You don't want to throw your equipment away and have to buy all new all the time. So prevention, of course, is the best thing. Keep them their hives where the beetles don't want to be. So beetles don't like sunlight. Wax moths either, for that matter. We'll talk about that a little bit. But so anyway, I moved my hives up on higher ground on my place and put them out in the direct sunlight. Now they pretty much have sunlight all day. I do have my hives facing to the east, so it catches the early morning sun and warms it up, so they'll get out and fly earlier. At least that's what I think. But they out and about today. I moved it over here. Again, all sunlight. Wax moths, hive beetles, the pests that get into your hives, they don't like sunlight all that much. It doesn't bother the bees. If it gets real hot, they'll beard on the outside, and you know, to keep the hive cool. But for the most part, I moved it over here. Again, this is my apiary, bee yard, whatever you want to call it. Like I said, I have 2 horizontal hives, but you can see that they are out and about looking for resources. Pretty much all sunlight. I do put some beetle traps in there. I've used the Swiffer sheets. I think the Swiffer sheets work pretty doggone good. So, you know, give it a shot. Anything that'll help them. Talking about wax moths, when I moved that colony up here, this is only about 200-300 yards away from where the original colony was. You can move them that far. I know people say, you know, you got to move them 10 miles or 1 foot or whatever, but there is a way to move them. Look it up, do some research. But I moved it, and the colony ended up doing good, got honey off of it, and then wax moths moved in. Bees can kill wax moths, but me, being the inexperienced beekeeper I was, and not realizing what was going on, I thought I had swarm cells, which now I know it was not swarm cells. They were emergency cells. And anyway, I tore them out, thinking they were swarm cells. Didn't want them to swarm, and the colony finally collapsed without a queen, and wax moths moved in, and that is a mess trying to clean that stuff up. So you new beekeepers out there, figure out where you want to put your hive. Like I say, do what's good for the bees, not the beekeeper, and you'll have a lot better luck as far as fighting hive beetles and wax moths and that kind of stuff. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. We're going to be making these all throughout. Like I said, it's the beginning of the 2024 bee season. And about another month, things are really going to start getting busy. We'll start looking at putting supers on and seeing what kind of honey crop we'll have this year. Thanks for watching.